Okay, so I decided to break my videos up. I know in the beginning of my last video I was going to try and do them both, but I just felt like it was getting way too long. So, um, plus I wanted to be able to talk a little bit about this topic. It's week 30, and it's talking about what I've learned. So trans adjacent, and the first thing I've really learned is that it takes a certain kind of person to be with someone who is transitioning. Not everyone is built to be with someone who is transitioning. It takes a strong person, an understanding person. It takes a lot of energy sometimes that you don't always want to give. Yeah, it takes a lot of strength to not just go, I can't deal with what comes with this right now. I think you definitely have to be someone who is solid personally. Like, you have to be solid in who you are as a person so that you don't get sort of forgotten in this process, because I think a lot of times we get lost in the transition as an individual, which is my next point. I've learned not to let the transition take over the relationship. You have to actively do things for yourself and for your relationship that are not going to be trans related. You have to, and you're going to. You know, everybody does day-to-day things that are not related to being a trans person or a trans partner, and you've got to do them. You have to make sure that you are doing things, because otherwise it gets a little depressing. It's like every day all you're thinking about is the dysphoria, and all you're doing is, working on the next step. And like, I'm one of those people who, when I start something, like, I'm like a dog with a bone. Like, I am gonna just keep working on it, and I'm very good at putting on that smile and making everything okay, but everything's not okay. It's not okay if I'm not taking care of me, if I'm not enjoying this relationship as a relationship and not just as an accessory and a cheerleader to the person I'm with. Yes, their transition is important and dysphoria is awful and I hate it all, but couple things are really important too. We just realized the other day that we've never been to a movie, and it's a little odd, right? I mean, we're engaged and we've never been to a movie theater together. We do things a little backwards. So, I mean, I guess it's not that surprising for us, but it was one of those things that I think we're definitely ready to correct. My next thing that I have learned is about dysphoria. People commonly mistake dysphoria as something that only affects the transgender community. And it's not. Dysphoria comes in all shapes and sizes. I suffer from body dysmorphic disorder. I have a hard time with weight. I struggle a lot with weight. I struggle a lot with food. I've definitely taken control and started to be much healthier and better, but the last few years have been probably the worst that they have ever been for me when it comes to food. I've definitely done some harmful things to myself, and you know, it's a form of dysphoria. I'm dysphoric about my weight. Addison is dysphoric about his chest. We all have our form of dysphoria, and I think once you can learn that, it makes relating easier. It makes relating to what your partner's going through easier. And I think it makes Addison feel better to know that I have an understanding. It's not the same, but it's similar. So the next bullet point, the next thing that I also learned was how different the trans community is from the rest of the gay community. And I might catch some flack for this, but it is not as friendly as the rest of the community. You know, I come from thinking of the community as being very accepting and open and friendly, and I mean, granted, there is hate everywhere, but since being more involved in the trans community, I mean, there are things that have just shocked me. I mean, we've talked about bullying and things of that nature in some of our other videos, but I mean, it's really something that's been on my mind quite a bit still. It floors me. I mean, it's the LGBTQ. Like, you're a part of this community, and it's, you know, you're part of a community that preaches acceptance and not judging, and here you are judging your fellow trans man for being okay with having a lesbian partner, for trying to be body positive. And body positive, that is something that is so important, and so much of the community is almost against it. And I know I'm off on a tangent now, so I'm going to get off of my high horse, but those are the things that I think I've learned. What have I've definitely grown as a person from this. I think I've learned a lot more about the community that I didn't know. There are so many subcategories to the LGBTQ that I wasn't aware of, and I definitely think my eyes have been opened quite a bit to those as well. I've always been really open-minded, sort of a to each their own kind of a girl, so I mean, I can't say that, like, oh, I'm more accepting of this or that or the other, because really I could care less. I mean, you want to dress up like an animal and do it, then hell yeah, do it. Like, what do I have to say about it? Nothing. It's not my business. I just want to make sure everybody's happy. All right, does that make you happy? It does? Awesome. This is what makes me happy. And this is who I am, and this is who my partner is, and this is who we are, and we are happy. And I would hope that, that makes you happy. But unfortunately, we live in a world where my happiness does not make some people happy at all. No sweat off my back. It's not going to stop me from doing what I'm doing. But these are the things that I've learned. And so yeah, that is my video. And I can't wait. Tomorrow I'm going to record for next week. Like I said, I know I'm behind and I'm sorry. And I appreciate all of you. I wanted to put that out there. I appreciate you very much. And I appreciate your feedback and your questions and your comments. And I'm always open for more of them. So please feel free to send your questions my way. And I guess happy transitioning, and I will see you very soon, yet again. Bye!